My name is Maria, and this is the story of how God changed my life. The past about 8 or 9 years of my life have been pretty rough, and I did what I thought was a good job of putting on a good face and making everyone think that I was okay, but I wasn't. It started in high school when I was sexually assaulted. I had something taken away from me that I wasn't ready to give up, and I thought that that was it for me, and I lost every sense of self-worth that I had, and I felt like I didn't know what love was supposed to be like anymore, or what it felt like to be loved. I started partying a lot and drinking and making bad decisions because I was trying to fill a void, and I was trying to get rid of the pain that I felt and the loneliness and the emptiness, and it never worked, of course. I had it in my mind that no one would ever love me unless I gave them something or unless I did something for them, and I tried so many ways to get people to love me and to feel like I was worth something. I felt completely worthless and like life wasn't worth living. I struggled a lot with thoughts of suicide and depression, and I was sad all the time, and I didn't know what it felt like to truly be happy. And it's not like I walked around every day crying. You know, I had good days, but they were few, and I never knew what it felt like to feel true and pure joy. I grew up in church, and I went to church every single Sunday, and I believed in God, but I didn't know who God was or understand Him or know why He would love me because of what I had been through and what I had done. And there were times where I felt like He had forgotten about me. Eventually I went to college and I dropped out. I moved back home, and things kind of just got worse from there. I felt like I was a failure, and all these insecurities that I had were just magnified. And I started going out more and giving up every ounce of self-respect that I had for myself to anyone who would take it. And I made friends with some pretty bad people, and I started doing drugs, and I started finding anything to try to make me happy and to feel like my life was worth living. For so long, I felt like I had no one to turn to. I have an amazing family and I love them, but I had this feeling that if I ever told them these things about myself, that they wouldn't love me, not because of who they are, but because of what I thought about myself. And, that they didn't have a reason to love me. I'm not proud of the things that I did, and it's hard for me to know that people have to know who I used to be and the things that I used to do, but I'm not that person anymore. And going through those struggles and doing those things is what has made me the person that I am today. And going through those struggles has made me stronger. Last summer, something happened that I never thought could happen again, that I thought was going to be the end of me. And I thought that I couldn't go on from there. And I knew that I couldn't be any farther down. And that night, I laid in bed and I prayed for what seemed like forever. And I told God that I was broken and that I knew I was broken and I didn't know how to fix it, and that I hurt and my heart hurt. And obviously everything else that I was doing wasn't working, and I needed Him. I woke up the next morning and I decided to move to North Carolina, and I didn't know anyone here. I didn't have a job. At this point, I had lived in Colorado for 24 years. I had never, lived anywhere else. I had never moved on my own, but I was going to do this, and there was nothing that was going to stop me. I saved up all my money, and I moved here in January, and it was the best decision I ever made. When I got here, it was a million times harder than I thought it was going to be. I was completely and utterly alone, and I leaned on God, and I grew in my relationship with God, and I turned to God, and I learned how much he loved me, and I felt that love for the first time because I finally opened my heart up to feeling it, something that I had never done before. He brought me to the church that I'm at right now that is filled with the most wonderful and amazing and beautiful and loving people that I've ever met in my life, and they've changed my life. And I know what it feels like to be loved now, and I know that God loves me no matter what I've done, and no matter the mistakes that I've made. He loves me because he made me, and I'm his daughter. And he gave me so much grace when I didn't deserve it, but it's because he loves me. And I think about all these people in the world who don't know what that feels like, and who are where I used to be. And it makes me sad because I know what that's like, and I don't want anyone to experience that. And I want everyone in the world to know what it feels like to be loved by God no matter what, and to know that you're never ever alone, and that there's always someone there to help you, and to be there when you go through struggles. That's why I'm going on this mission. I want to spend the rest of my life repaying God for what he did for me, for giving me a new life and showing me that I'm loved. And I'm loved by God of all people. I want to go out and I want to serve him, and I want people to know who he is, and I want to do work for him, because I will never, till the day I die, I will never be able to repay him for what he's done for me. And for no reason, just merely for the fact that he loves me. So I'm about to go around the world. I'm going to 11 countries in 11 months. And hopefully I can help build his kingdom, and I can help spread the love that he showed me when I didn't even deserve it.